I'm Shannon Harris. Thanks for tuning in to Window in Wilmington. On today's show, we'll tell you about Delaware State Housing Authority's Homebuyer Fair and how this could be your path to home ownership. We'll also check in with Family Counseling Center of St. Paul's, and we'll tell you about the services that they offer. The Indo-American Association of Delaware will hold their annual Health and Wellness Expo, and we'll have the details for you. And Parks and Recs is getting ready for college tours, youth college and career fair, and much more. But first, Governor Jack Markell assembled the Wilmington Public Safety Strategies Commission. This commission is tasked with carrying out a rapid, fact-based, intensive examination of public safety strategies in the City of Wilmington and offering recommendations to address Wilmington's significant problem with violent crime. Schiliro and Darryl Chambers join me now to talk all about the commission and how things are going. So I'm so glad both of you gentlemen could be here today. How are you?
Thank you.
So this commission, I guess first and foremost, we all kind of know why it was established, but maybe you could just give us a little bit more detail on exactly why it was established.
Well, I think, Shannon, the commission was established for a number of reasons. Probably foremost was the bringing together of the various disciplines, really to work with the City of Wilmington and coordinating state resources and county resources, and probably importantly, being able to really engage the community, because the police themselves cannot do everything that they need to do without the support and the trust of the community. And I think over the last 3 meetings, and I think Darryl would agree, the community has really shown tremendous support to reducing the incidence of violence in the city. And that I think has been probably the biggest thing, is just to see the turnout that we're getting. And really people that just want to make Wilmington a better place to live for themselves and importantly for the children.
Yes. Now you've had 2 meetings, and what has been the overall tone of the people coming to the meetings? What have they been saying to you about the violence in the city and why they are maybe apprehensive about getting more involved?
Well, I don't know if they're apprehensive about getting involved. The first meeting, we had several people come in, and what they expressed was that a willingness to be part of the process. And what the commission really focused on was that in order for this to work, we need the community buy-in. So the example that I often use is that community policing can quickly become community occupation if you don't have the buy-in to say so from the community. So myself, I'm just an ambassador. I'm the one who carried meeting from the knowledge from the meeting to the citizens in the City of Wilmington, because everyone can't make the meeting. So it's my job to take it to the social informational hubs. And what I mean by that is I take it to the barbershops, I take it to the corners, I take it to the religious institutions. And what I do is that I tell them what transpired during the course of the meeting, and I ask them for their feedback. So I'm just an ambassador. So a lot of the time the people aren't there, but they have a representative there who is really looking out for their best interests. Now, on another note is that last night meeting at William Hicks Anderson, we had a tremendous turnout. People were passionate, people came with plans, they came with suggestions and recommendations. And it's going to be interesting to see like how many recommendations wind up in the final report, because if the people feel as if they have some buy-in, then you're going to see change in the City of Wilmington. We're very optimistic about that.
Now, Louis, let me ask you, having someone like Darryl in the community, somebody who's from Darryl, you look like the people in the community. Does this then help the commission even further?
Absolutely critical to have Darryl there. We have people from, certainly from the community. We have retired Wilmington law enforcement officer. Joe Bryant is the Newcastle County Director of Public Safety. We have representatives from the Attorney General's office, from the Governor's office. So it really is a coming together. And Chief Cummings sits on it on behalf of Mayor Williams. So, we have the right people at the table. Plus the fact that I think we brought in probably the premier experts in the country as consultants to help us draft recommendations that will bring Wilmington forward in terms of a policing strategy. But again, to Darryl's point, and I don't think we can emphasize this enough, the buy-in and the endorsement of the community is critical to the success of this. And I think without question, so far we've seen tremendous support for it. Granted, there are some people that are frustrated. There's no question about that. And this is an outlet for them to voice those frustrations. But we learn from that. And I think at the end of the day, we're on the right path. And I think getting people to really support this effort is going to go a long way in helping Wilmington regain the position that it once was.
So what do you think you both have learned so far about Wilmington's public safety problems?
Well, it's nothing new to me because I actually study how to build trust, how the police department can build trust in the community. So I work on things such as building models, and my thesis work actually looked at how the Wilmington Police Department can build trust. Because when you think about this, right here is a tension relationship. And this is not a relationship that happened during Mayor Williams' administration. It didn't happen during Mayor Baker's administration. It didn't happen even during Mayor Dr. Seals' administration. This is a tense relationship that's been going on for years. So to overcome that barrier, my work actually looks at what type of concerns do the police need to address in order to build trust in the community. And what I found out was that there's two types of trust. There's this outcome-based trust and this procedural-based trust. And if you want to impact them, then there are some people who say, hey, you need to make sure you concentrate on victimization and people and reducing the crime rate. And there are other people who are saying, no, there's quality of life issues here. And I think that you will see this right here come out in the recommendation that one of the focus is going to be community policing and how do we build that trust and relationship. And I think those concerns will be addressed.
And Lou, we were talking earlier, while people like to see the commission encompass more than one thing, but this is mainly to address the crime. But there is, as Darryl said, the quality of life issue, but you're concentrating on the crime.
That's correct, Shannon. I mean, you know, right now, the commission is charged with the responsibility at looking at policing. And of course, that is where people look to at first glance to reduce the incidence of crime. But certainly, there are so many other aspects to this. There's the issue of jobs and education and parenting, the issue of creating opportunity for our children. So, you know, I think certainly those are things that really have to be taken into account. But our focus at first is you have to stabilize those neighborhoods. You know, and kids need to feel safe, you know, where they live before we can go further. So this is the first step. It's not going to be the last step. The other thing I think I've learned, at least from this, is that you have a lot of good people working very hard to help. And maybe part of this is getting people to come together, you know, in a coordinated fashion. I think that's one thing I would like to see come out of this. But this is not for want of trying. I mean, we have some tremendously talented and really just supportive people, not only within the police department, but in the community groups and people that just want to help. So if we can help bring this together, I think we're going to absolutely be entirely successful.
I think you're right. Go ahead. Well, you know what, I wanted to ask you.
Thing,
Go ahead.
because I think that, and it just occurred to me, what I really learned from this right here is that when you give people in the community an outlet to express their concerns, then they come out and they express their concern.
Well, wait a minute, Darryl, let me ask you, because you said something earlier, and that actually ties into it. You said something about like the relationship between the community and the police department didn't become frayed overnight, which is true.
Right.
But now what do you do to repair this relationship with the police department? And is it just the Wilmington Police Department, or is the relationship strained with any policing unit that might come into the city to help out the residents?
Well, when we say the police, keep in mind that we're talking about the social control agents. And the police is just the everyday arm of that agency. So this is the agent that the people come in most contact with. So the police are judged not only by what they do, but also by what the Attorney General office do, what the Mayor office do, what the prosecutor office do. So just keep that right there in mind. And what I've been concentrating on, how do you transfer this trust? How can this trust be transferred? How can the trust that I have in the community be transferred to law enforcement? How can the trust that I have be transferred to black academicians like Dr. Yasser Payne? And this right here is a great example of how this trust can actually be transferred. Because even when black academicians come into our neighborhood, at first they're distrusted. But through me and him coming through the community, constantly being there, and that's the one thing we heard last night, that you got to be consistent. The community police need to be consistent. And don't just show up when there's something going wrong, but also be doing there when people have cool tears of joy.
And if I could follow up on Darryl's point, I couldn't agree more. The one pervading theme that we heard last night is the people want to know their police officers, and they want those police officers to know the members of the community and the kids that are there. So consistency in terms of having the same police in those neighborhoods day after day will build that trust and will build that knowledge. So I hope that one of the recommendations that we can help implement is having consistency in terms of neighborhood policing. Not so much community-based, but neighborhood, where they're actually in the neighborhoods night after night, day after day, getting to learn not only about the community, but about the people there.
Yes.
And I think almost everyone said at one point when we had more community police, they want to know the police officers.
Right.
So I think that was a I think, a prevailing theme last night.
Yes.
So, well, the city has been trying to solve this for years. So, why do you think that the problem is that the problem that Wilmington is facing can be solving using this approach?
Well, I don't know if there's going to be one magic bullet,
Yes.
that if you can just wave the wand and make it go away. That's not going to happen. One of the objects is obviously to look at policing and to understand whether or not there's a more effective and efficient way to do it. The other thing the consultants are looking at is there have been success in other cities based upon different policing strategies. So part of this is taking a look at that and seeing whether or not those things would apply to Wilmington to help them bring down the issue of violence. I mean, there are probably dozens of things. The amount of guns that are in, the social media with the kids today. So, but I do think that having an effective police strategy that you can sustain over time and put police in the neighborhoods on a consistent basis is going to go a long way to reducing.
Yeah.
So well, you got 2 meetings coming up.
Yes.
Correct.
So the last 2 meetings. So let's talk a little bit about that. Now, when are they?
The next one is actually next Tuesday, March 17th. We will announce the location if you go to delaware.gov on the public meeting section. And that is going to be a very interesting meeting because our consultants are going to come back and they're going to look at statistically where the crimes are occurring and the nature of what they are and the demographics, so that we can learn, in terms of areas of the city and different neighborhoods, the different levels of violence and things that we can control. So probably the last meeting will be a presentation by the consultants on at least an outline or a draft of where their recommendations are going to come out.
And where do we go from there, gentlemen? After the meetings, and now the community has had their chance to give their input, and you have a chance to be a part of it, then what next?
Well, my hope is that, based on what we are hearing from the people that are working on this, we're going to have very specific recommendations in terms of attempting to improve policing and attempting to improve the community-based approach. I think that is a general category, and I think they're going to be very specific. Then I think it's a matter of hopefully the commission being able to work with the city and with the state police and the county police and all of the other agencies that are going to go into this to implement those. Probably easier said than done, Shannon, but there's not a lot of room for failure in this. So
I think we'll be seeing each other a lot.
Right.
Right.
And I think that once we get the report, it's going to be important to make sure we have the resources to carry out these some of these suggestions. And I know the city is cash strapped, so I think there's a Delaware problem, I often says, and that we all need to pitch in. Donations, grants, funds, whatever we can do, but this time we have to get it right.
I'm so glad both of you gentlemen could be here today
Thank you.
to
It was
talk
our
about
pleasure.
this. And we want everybody to go to the website so they can be in attendance at the next 2 meetings. And if they have any questions, they can call the office to find out more about information on the whole program, the commission.
correct. They
And
can call the governor's office. They can call our office, the Department of Safety and Homeland Security, and we'll probably issue a press release as far again as time and location. So the more people that come out, the better it is for us. And
Yes.
we encourage that. We
Yes.
need people to turn out and support this.
Yes.
be active in your community.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take
So
some
come
ownership.
back. Yeah. Take some ownership. That's right.
Take some ownership.
Come back and keep
It was
us
our pleasure,
updated.
Shannon. Yeah, let's
Love
hope so.
having you here. All
Yes.
right. Next up, a home buyer fair that could help you become a homeowner when we return.
Introducing a new day of the week. Someday. Now, everything you were going to do someday is on the calendar. Want to retire someday? You'll really want this. A My Social Security account at socialsecurity.gov. You can estimate your future benefits and manage current benefits online. Millions of people have a My Social Security account. Get yours today, because someday is here at socialsecurity.gov.
Today, school kids rely on the internet for so many things: homework, math, research. But what about kids who don't have internet at home? Hello, I'm Theo Gregory, Wilmington City Council President. The internet is essential, as many as 80% of low-income families do not have access at home, including many right here in Wilmington. So help bridge this gap by supporting local broadband adoption programs. Let's get more students and families connected to the power of the internet.
The 2015 Homebuyer Fair is open to the public and will feature industry-related exhibitors and service providers. Seminars will be held throughout the day with valuable information on finding properties, low-cost financing, down payment assistance, and other tips for anyone looking to buy a home in Delaware. And Matt Heckles is here now with all the great details and home buying tips and all that great stuff, Matt.
Thank you very much for having me today. It's good to be back.
Just like a wealth of knowledge. So what's going on, Matt? You guys are doing so much stuff. And we had Anaz on talking about all the great progress the department is making, the division.
He was
and
talking about the downtown development
Yeah,
districts.
which is really
Here
cool.
in Wilmington, City of Dover, and City of Seaford. And we're very
Yeah.
excited about getting involved with that. Actually, it relates a little bit to the last segment, making sure that we have a comprehensive approach to community development. Obviously, policing is a big part of crime reduction, but you have to go beyond that. And DSHA is very interested in making sure that we are the housing component to that. And
Right.
it's very important too to
Because-
make sure that you can sustain the gains that you make in policing.
Right, and I want to ask you, talking about the last segment a little bit, when you, as DSHA, when you have stabilized neighborhoods, that makes a difference all the way around, right?
Sure does. Sure
Right.
does. Yeah. There's a lot of evidence that shows that to sustain the crime reduction efforts, you have to wrap around other services, housing. You have to have good housing, quality housing, affordable housing, jobs for people to go to so that they can afford that housing.
Right.
Good schools and everything else. Community resources. We talk about trying to put in community gardens and make sure people have access to food. It's everything really. Yeah.
Right, right. Well, I'm glad you guys are on top of it.
We're
You
trying.
are. Now let's talk about the benefits of the first-time home buyer program. Now, is this a first-time home buyer program, or is it open to anybody who's buying a home program?
We actually used to be focused just on first-time home buyers, and a couple of years ago we opened up the program to focus on repeat buyers. So we offer first mortgages. Our rates tend to be very competitive, if not below market rate. Right now our rate is 3.5%, as low as 3.5%.
Shut the front door.
That's a
Really?
good rate. Yeah,
No,
that's
really.
a good rate.
So let me ask you, like, if I were looking for a home as not a first-time home buyer, could I come to you guys to potentially?
Absolutely. We do have income limits right
Okay.
now. Our income limits, we just announced yesterday that we raised our income limits to $97,900 per year.
No, really?
And we also have down payment settlement assistance, also for first-time home buyers and repeat buyers.
Get out of here.
So you can get a loan for up to $8,000 that you repay when you sell the house or when you refinance the loan. So you don't pay monthly amounts. And really, at the end of the day, housing cost becomes a monthly issue. How much
Right.
money do you bring in, and how much money does it cost on a monthly basis? When you buy your first house, you realize that you nickel and dime in this sales
Yeah.
negotiation. At the end of the day, it comes down
Yes.
to how much you can afford on a monthly basis. So we have those loans that can help people with the down payment costs, and also with the settlement costs, which can be up to $8,000, $6,000, $8,000 for the
That
legal
is
fees
great.
and everything else. So those down payment settlement assistance programs are very important. Yesterday we also announced that in addition to the increased income limits, we announced that we would increase the amount of down payment settlement assistance that people can get from 3% of the loan amount to 4% of the loan amount. So on a $200,000 home, that would be $8,000 in down payment assistance.
So you guys have partnered with, so you're partnering with banks on this, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so this is how you're able to do all of this.
Sure.
Right.
Yes. Yes. We have a list of about 35 lenders across the state that have access to our programs. They're listed on our website, destatehousing.com. And so if someone is interested in purchasing a house and using a DSHA mortgage product, that's really the best way to access our programs. Of course, we always recommend that people take advantage of the network of housing counselors in the state too. They provide education to people who, mostly first-time home buyers, who have not bought a home before, and they go through the process of buying a home. They can even work out budgets and help you understand how much it costs to own the home in terms of the mortgage payments, taxes and insurance, even upkeep and things like that. You have to be careful about getting into home ownership. It's different than renting. If the heater blows, you have to pay for it.
Yeah, right. It's on you.
I've done that twice.
Listen, right? And aren't you just like, oh God? Right?
But you know, right now it's tax season, of course. People are getting ready for taxes. And so what's the relation to home ownership? So we have
all the repairs you need to make. There's your tax money.
well, actually, if you are, this is the one program where if you are a first-time home buyer, we can approve a tax credit for first-time home buyers. And it's not only for people who participate in DSHA's mortgage programs, but also people who aren't. They can also access this tax credit program. So if you're a first-time home buyer and you're income eligible, you can get up to $2,000 per year federal income tax credit. So the way this works is that mortgage interest is a deductible expense on your
Right.
taxes. This changes the $2,000 from a deduction to a credit. So instead of just getting that percentage of the $2,000 that you paid in mortgage interest back, you get the dollar for dollar value of that tax credit. That can translate, if you buy a $150,000 house, you probably are going to pay in their first year around $7,000 in mortgage insurance. It's a scary number, I know. But
Yeah.
so out of that, you could take you might pay $2,500 or so in taxes on that. If you're in the 20% tax credit bracket, you really only see back 20% of that money. If you have the tax credit, you get the dollar for dollar on the first $2,000 on your interest back.
Really? I
So
didn't know that. That's great.
That translates to about $166 per month. You can factor that in if you qualify for the tax credit, which allows you to afford more house. It can make the difference sometimes between qualifying for a loan and not.
Yeah, right. It makes a big difference.
And also, you can obviously we hope that people use that money to invest in their housing,
Right.
to pay their monthly mortgage, to have a rainy day fund for when that furnace blows, things like that. So it's a really neat program. Unfortunately, if you already own a home, you can't access it now. So it won't help this
yeah.
year's taxes for you and me probably.
But you do have programs that will help people that already own a home if they are having problems keeping their home, right?
Yeah, there are two main programs. One is called the Delaware Emergency Mortgage Assistance Program. So for people who have seen a reduction in their income caused from unemployment or underemployment and are at risk of losing their home because they have fallen behind on their mortgage payments, we will give them a loan that will bring their mortgage current and also help them pay their mortgage going forward for up to 24 months.
Wow, really?
And we have helped almost 600 families across Delaware in the last few years through this foreclosure crisis.
So this is a loan, though. So now what happens? I'm paying it back to, well, I guess it's...
It's also deferred, so
Okay.
you pay it back when you sell the home. It's really a way to get people back on their feet, and hopefully they regain the ability to make enough money to pay their mortgage in the long run.
I love that. Now,
For the,
Matt,
sorry, just for the City of Wilmington, we have a very specific program that helps senior citizens age 62 and older who are at risk of losing their home because of delinquent property taxes, real estate taxes, or water and sewer bills. It's called the Wilmington Senior Tax Assistance Program. And for that one, you get a $3,000 grant, so you don't pay this one back.
Oh, wow.
And so if you qualify and you are at risk of losing your home again, it's a way for us to make sure that people can stay in their home. The city has a tax abatement program for senior citizens, and this is a way to make sure that they can access that program and get current on their current, if they have default on their taxes right now.
Now let's tell everybody the Homebuyer Fair.
Yeah.
And we want to tell when that is, and we want to tell everybody if they want to know about any of the programs you mentioned, where they should go to find out all this information.
First, our website again is destatehousing.com. We have a 1-800 number, 1-888-363-8808.
You didn't have to remember. It's on the screen, I hope. Right?
And so that's how you can contact our offices, of course. We have people who are ready to answer any questions. The Homebuyer Fair is a great event. This is our fifth year, and it's a partnership between DSHA, the Money School, and the Delaware Federation of Housing Counselors. You can come, and we have exhibitors who have booths set up so that you can talk directly with lenders, and realtors, insurance folks, and housing counselors and everybody else. But you can also come for the whole day and go through the housing counseling curriculum from start to finish And at the end of the day, you can walk away with a housing counseling certificate, which allows you to access certain programs at DSHA and in other places too.
So go and stay for the entire day and get the certificate.
And it's March 1st,
Yes.
March 21st.
March
sorry,
21st?
at the Chase Center at the Riverfront, and we'll be there all day.
Yay, okay. And we want everybody to go to your website, check out some of the fantastic programs that you guys offer. And thanks, DSHA, for looking out for everybody.
Thank you very much.
All right, and we'll see you back here again.
I hope so.
All right. We'll be right back with Family Counseling Center of St. Paul's after these messages.
Thank you for calling your GED Pep Talk Center. All right, now, are you ready for your GED Pep Talk?
Being nervous is okay. It just shows that you're serious about getting your diploma.
A lot of things are scary. Heck, I'm scared of clowns.
No quiero ir. Danny, no lo puedo hacer.
DMC, life in your pep talk style.
Just keeping it real, Debs. Just keeping it real.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
The Family Counsel Center of St. Paul's provides bilingual, culturally competent mental and behavioral health counseling, parenting skills and education, and training the teachers. Rob McCreary and Galo. Really? You guys just got me. I was having a great run here.
You're still doing well. Don't worry about it. We'll trip up for you. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, Galo Rodriguez.
Yes.
Okay.
All good.
I'm just going to throw this where I'm done. Right now. Are here to tell us all about the great programs at St. Paul's, and I'm so glad you guys could both be here. And Rob, it's always a pleasure seeing you.
Thank
Love
you.
having you
Feelings
on.
mutual.
And thanks for
having
bringing
me.
Gallo in.
Yeah, it's his first time.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
And he does great work with us.
We'll
so.
be easy on him, though. We'll be
Perfect.
easy.
Okay.
Don't worry about
I don't
it.
know about me. We'll see.
So, Rob, what's going on over at the center?
So we're there's increasing demand as always. We're trying to do more work and increase our reach in the community. So we've brought on a few people. One of my colleagues, Kathleen Seipel, who had been working part-time with us pretty much just in a clinical capacity, is now our Director of Community Engagement as well. So she splits her time.
Right.
She's full-time. Gal's increased his hours full-time. We have another part-time counselor that's covering another night for us, which is great to become more or be more accessible to clients that can't make it during the weekdays,
Right.
and or Saturdays. And we still have Markell Roberts, who's with us on Saturdays and doing a great job as always. So we're moving really from a platform of people coming to see us to us going out into the community.
Right.
And that's the real push with Kathleen's position and our focus on community engagement to meet people where they are.
Right.
Ideally, we'd love to be out on site at like a primary care facility to plug the gap in mental health care. There's still that
Yeah.
huge.
I got to ask you, though, while it's great that you guys there are have to ramp up to provide more services, it's kind of like, wow. I mean, I don't know. I'm happy and sad all in one. Like, I'm happy people are recognizing
Yeah.
that if you have issues, there are places to go. But sad that so many people are having issues.
True. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in the community, I think, that people don't know about or are afraid to come out and talk about.
Right.
I think one of the things that attracts people to working with us is once they learn once they embrace our process, I think it's a matter of them seeing that we're intimate, we're personable, we're kind of a home away from home. a lot of the folks in the Latino community talk to other people too, very word of mouth, very, they describe the experience. So we've gotten a lot of people, not just from Wilmington, but from like Kennett Square area, Avondale, Concordville, Chester, to come into Wilmington, and that's a hike for them. And these are folks that are primarily underserved. Transportation's a problem, not to mention the other, barriers that they're facing, financial, cultural, stigmatic barriers on top of that. So one of the things we want to try to do is, again, how can we reach out to them? How can we meet them where they are, whether it's schools?
Right.
We're working right now with the Red Clay School District to try to do a pilot program in several different schools to work with the children there, to reach their parents, to work with the school counselors and psychologists is really important. They're first responders, and I think that's a key way to engage the kids, to engage the family, and to keep that whole push of meeting people where they are in focus.
Now Galo, so this is kind of where Galo comes in at, right?
Galo is an integral part of our team, and I can let him talk a little bit. He does, he handles our client relations and our insurer relations, so he does a lot of the scheduling, if not all of it. He does a lot of the relationship building with the insurance companies too.
Right. So Galo, I guess folks coming in, first of all, I'm like, oh, is my insurance going to pay for this and everything? But this is all stuff that you handle, so they don't have to worry about this. And I can assume kind of eases the first steps of coming in.
Well, yeah, of course, this is the main point, trying to gather all the information for the particular individual who, call us or walks into the office, gather all the information, then try to find what are the insurance needs, if there is any, and then try to match up with the right counselor, when we go into that point.
I guess it makes it easy for members of the Hispanic community also to speak to you. You're probably one of the first lines of contact that they come in with. So you can kind of help ease them into the whole process.
Yes, especially I'm the first person who get in touch with how we call prospective clients. I'm the first person who we're going to talk to them and trying to find out how we can help them. That's the most important thing.
What are some of the things that they say to you, Galo, when they're initially coming in?
Well, first of all, they're looking for help and they don't know how to address.
Right.
That's the number one thing. And then, most of the times, like Rob said, language barriers. That is a lot of problem because they don't speak English, they don't know how to express, they are afraid of, they don't understand exactly how we can help them. And another problem where they face is about insurance, where they don't have insurance. They assume that they have to absorb all the cost of the counseling, and eventually that's not true. This is where we are there for, trying to help them as much as we could.
Do you think addressing mental health issues is still a big stigma in the Hispanic community?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Community, they don't accept 100%, if they have a problem. If they have a problem, they don't want to assume until sometimes it's not too late, but when the problems already start. And that's one of the problems that Spanish community facing, yes.
Right. And it's interesting that he says that, Rob, because I've had this conversation with, I think, NAMI Delaware, you guys, that the minority community seem to have a big issue when it comes to seeking out support services for mental health or just health services in general.
And I don't think that's a negative thing toward them. I think it's part of their culture, their upbringing. I think it's a sense of, hey, I've got this issue, I need to take care of it myself, so I'm accountable for it. I can do this on my own, I don't need help. And I look at that too and say, okay, how do we channel that sense of accountability to let them know that, we definitely want you to work on this. We need you to help yourself too while we're helping you. So keep that part of it, but come to us as professionals and let us try to work with you through your problems. And then oftentimes what will happen, Shannon, is we'll find out that there's a multitude of different things going on within a family. So, a lot of the times there's pressures from children or pressures from aging adults that they're trying to help, and they may be living together. And that's, I'm going through that now with my father-in-law. It's a big task. It's a lot of work. It's not that we would never do that, but imagine trying to do that when you're all together in one place, and you're facing other barriers like we talked about, financial, language, stigma. So I think it's our job. I think we're accountable to reach out to help them and let them know that there's a place for them to come to that they can find familiarity with, comfort with, and not be afraid to let people know what's on their minds and stuff that they're going through.
Well, I'm glad Galo's here. Welcome aboard.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
very
am I.
much.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's a great member of the team for
I
sure.
can tell too. I
Really
can
is.
tell. Now, if anybody wants to talk to you, Rob, or if they want to find out more about the services, or they want to speak to Galo about insurance costs, or just have somebody that they can communicate with to help them start the process, what should they do?
Sure, they can give us a call. Our intake number that Galo actually, it's at his desk, is 302-576-4136. For those that are online, they can come to our website. It's stpaulscounseling, stpaulscounseling.org. There's a lot of stuff that we're developing on that website. One of the things that we're trying to really provide is to be kind of a resource center too, so people can go in and find information, not just for the clients, but also for other professionals in the field, other mental health counselors, and that's a whole other subject we can talk about maybe next time.
Okay.
Pick up on the severe shortage of counseling, of therapists, particularly those that are culturally competent and bilingual, and what are we
Right.
doing about that, or how can we make a dent in that?
That's a good one. You definitely have
big
to
one.
come back. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, Galo. Well, you had good company with you today.
Sure.
Feels
Thanks a
mutual.
lot.
Thanks for carrying Rob during this interview. He needed it, you know.
Thank you.
He does it every day in my office too, for sure.
So we'll see you guys back here again.
We welcome that.
we will.
Thanks
All
for having
right.
us
Thank
today.
you.
No
Appreciate you guys
problem.
having us.
Always love you guys. Up next, Indo-American Association of Delaware when we return.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money going to come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
I want my Ed TV.
I want my ATV.
I want my TV.
I want my Ed TV. I want my Ed TV. I want my Ed TV.
Now.
I want my TV.
I want my MTV.
The Indo-American Association of Delaware will host their annual Health and Charity Fair on Saturday, April 11th. Dr. Aruma Horta and Sarah LaFave. Did I say that right,
You
Sarah?
did, yeah.
Wow. Join me now to tell us all about it. Hi, Arun.
How are you?
And hi, Sarah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys could be here. It's my favorite time of year. It's the Health and Charity Fair. And so UD is in on this.
This is big.
This
I
is
think
big.
This is really grown.
Yeah.
It's you know, this is how the program has matured. It started off with a small health fair, I think about 10 years ago.
I think so.
And we've
you
been
guys-
doing this. This is
yeah.
an yearly thing.
Wow, yeah.
We used to be at multiple locations. We started off with Del Tech.
Yeah.
And then we went on to, I think, one of the schools, the public schools, and then we went on to the temple in Yokeland, and now we're with UD, and that's a big move.
Way to go, IAAD.
Well, we are thrilled
Yes.
to be, to jump on the bandwagon. So we feel very
Yeah.
fortunate they chose our location and to partner with us.
This is great. Now, it's UD, so this is, in UD, this is the health and...
This is our College of Health Sciences, and we're at the new campus. It's the Star Campus where the old Chrysler plant was, so down kind of across
Wow.
from the football stadium.
Right.
Yep, so it's a brand new building that is full of research and clinics related to health, so it's a perfect fit for the fair.
Yeah, I think that partnership is a beautiful partnership because it's a win-win situation for everybody that's involved in this. We get to promote the Star Campus. That is, I think the residents of Delaware need to see it. I think even if you're not interested in the health and charity fair, you need to come out and see this campus. This is a 5-star campus for the kids coming out of schools, kids coming and looking at college. This and the programs they have are top-notch, cutting edge, and I think they're building new programs that have a lot of demand today. So I think that this will be not just a health and charity fair. We're trying to make sure that people come out and get their level of awareness, and then begin to make a decision. Because once you know the stuff, then you know what's available. This is a huge resource for our community here in Delaware, in Newcastle County. So I think partnering with UD was a great move. UD is a great partner, clearly. You know, they have provided us with all the support. The support we've got from them has been stellar. This will be the largest number of vendors we've never had. We usually have about 20 vendors. This time I think we have 75 vendors.
Wow, really?
And we had to stop. We had to say, no, we can't take any more. The fire marshal will stop, will not allow any more people. Yes.
Get out.
So I think this will be huge. I just want to make a plea to everybody watching the show to try and make it, because this is going to give you that knowledge or that edge to see where we're moving ahead, where science is moving, where technology is moving, where research is moving, and what does UD offer to the next generation.
Right.
So I think in addition to health, charity, fair, food, fun, culture,
this is like a great day.
This is the time to come out and have a great day.
Like a great family day, too.
Absolutely. And we actually kind of halfway through the planning process, we looked at it and we said, fair just does not do this event justice. So we changed the verbiage. So we're kind of referring to it as an expo because, it's more than just people sitting at tables handing out flyers. I mean, we have experts in all different areas of healthcare who will be doing screenings. They'll be, having one-on-one conversations with people who have specific questions about healthcare needs. We have both of the clinics in the Star Campus will be open, our physical therapy clinic and our nurse managed health center, so people can, see what those clinics are all about. And then a number of researchers from our institution and from others will be there talking about their research studies and talking to people about getting involved.
I think that is great. That is fantastic. It gives it, it's like you said, it's not only health and charity, but this gives you a chance to see everything. Wow.
And it will have the same kind of platforms like we did the panel discussion. So you'll have 14 specialists, and you could be in the audience asking questions. That as I've always said, sometimes you see a specialist and you ask them a question. I'm a nephrologist, so in my mind I always think about the kidney and say, okay, based on the kidney, this is what the issue is. But an endocrinologist, a hormone doctor, might see it differently, and so may a gastroenterologist, and you might have a cardiologist as well who may see it differently. So you get a perspective from a 360 view or from physicians, which is very unusual. Usually you come to one doctor, you see the doctor, and you're done. But here you'll be able to ask your question, and it'll be 4 people answering your question, saying, I see it this way, I see it that way. And then an answer may come out. And that's the beauty of having a panel discussion. And then one-on-ones too. We have about 20 tables, nephrology, cardiology, gastroenterology, GI, neurology, you name the specialty, we've got it out there. We've got vision, we've got hearing. So, it's again, you could do one-on-one as well. So it's a casual setting. It's not like you're checking in, give me your insurance card, give me your credit card. You're not doing that stuff. And
you've got 5 minutes with the doctor.
Right. Come on, I'm ready. I'm 1 o'clock. Right.
So if you come early, you might see, I think this will build up very quickly. There will be a lot of people visiting. So I think it starts at 11 and it goes on till 4. If people are coming, I would urge them to come early, because I think that they'll get the time that they need to speak to the doctors one-on-one. There will be nurse-managed healthcare that will be open. In fact, UD is going to keep the Star Campus is going to keep their cadaver lab open for the kids who want to see,
I'm raising my hand. I'm going.
So
I want to see that. You want to go too? They want to go too? Especially, I definitely want to see that. I think this is great, and I'm going to tell you something. There was one fair that you guys did, I think it was probably about 3 years ago. A lady stopped me on the street, and she told me that was the first time in probably 10 years she had gone to a physician, just because it wasn't like a physician, so she felt more comfortable going there and having a chance to talk, and and could go there and relax. And
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly, and that's what screening is about. You know, we screen you when we in a very non-judgmental fashion, saying if there's an issue, we'll talk to you, and then we'll explain to you what you need to do, and then again, it's her call whether she wants to move ahead. You know, so we're here to screen patients. Certainly, no treatment will be provided there. Consideration and suggestions may be given that this is what you need to do, and those suggestions may be very simple. Lifestyle, you know, cut the salt, cut the sugar, cut the fats,
no smoking,
exercise, no smoking. It's a big one. So, you know, it'll talk about where's the salt coming from in your food, talk about where the sugar's coming from in your food.
Right.
So I think sometimes these basic things people say, wow, nobody told me this before.
Right, right. So if anybody wants to find out more about the Health and Charity Fair or the Great Star Campus, what do they need to do? We want to remind everybody it's April 11th, right?
April 11th,
Saturday,
11
April
to 4.
11th,
Okay.
11 to 4 o'clock. And so they can either go to IAADelaware.org, which is the Indo-American Association's website. They can also go to www.udel.edu/CHS, which is the College of Health Sciences website. We have a whole slate of activities that week celebrating National Public Health Week, and this is the big culmination on Saturday. So they might want to check out the other things we have going on as well.
Way to go. I
Very
love
excited.
IAD. God,
It's a
you know.
great partner, absolutely.
No, I think the teams have gelled very well. The UD team with the team of volunteers, you know, Vishal Tandon and Rohan D'Souza.
Yes,
those
yes,
guys
yes.
have been working very hard. I cannot believe that they put this amount of effort into doing this. But they're so thorough. They're making the banners. They're running all around.
Be a full
You know what my
house.
motto is for them? They go hard or go home, and they never go home. They always go hard.
That's right.
Go team, right?
Well,
They do.
you.
They work
Hope to
very
see
hard.
everybody there.
I do too. I do too. Thank you for coming on, and it's
you.
always a pleasure. And give all the peoples my hellos, and see you all at the fair. And I think I'm going to come out and I want to check out the cadaver lab.
That sounds good.
Yeah, you gonna let me see?
Eat lunch afterwards.
Eat lunch after? I'm good. I can eat lunch before.
Yes.
During? He says during. Thank you both, and we'll see you again.
Thank you,
All right,
Shannon.
thanks a lot.
Parks and Rec is up next with college tours information when we return.
Child support clients, do you want your money faster? Sign up today to receive your funds electronically by either direct deposit into an existing checking or savings account or the new First Aid Family Card, a prepaid MasterCard account that is credited whenever a payment is made into your child support case. For more information, visit us online at www.dhss.delaware.gov/DCSE. Or you can reach us on the phone in Newcastle County by calling 577-7171, in Kent County 739-8299, or in Sussex County 856-5386. Thank you.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
That time of year where we start thinking about college tours and summer youth employment. And Nicole Torrance, a very pleasant surprise, is here with Sean Baker to tell us now about some great programs that are going on at Parks and Rec. And I'm glad you could be here, Nicole. Usually we only see Sean, so thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, what did he say? Thank God that Nicole came. So Nicole, let's talk about college tours. This is a big time for you guys. I
Yes,
know.
it is.
Well, you're always
Yes.
busy, but this is a really busy time, right? So it's college
Yes.
tour time. So what happens, Nicole?
Yes, well, April is a very busy month. We will be doing the Spring College Tour, which will take place April 6th through the 10th. It's for grades 10 through 12. We take about 42 students. We're going to be
A
traveling.
lot of kids.
A lot of kids. So we're going to be traveling to the Kentucky area, Kentucky State, University of Kentucky, University of Pittsburgh, Central State. So we got a lot of big colleges there. So
How do you
taking a lot
guys
of
pick the
kids.
colleges that you're going to go to every year?
Well, we've conducted a survey that we've incorporated that will try to grasp what some of the kids want. We did it for the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So we used that survey as a tool this year to see some of the colleges that they would like to go to.
Really? That's good.
Yes.
Now, the college tour, it's probably less expensive than it would normally be if they did it on their own, right?
That's correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so now let's explain to us how that all works.
Okay, well, the tour generally is we charge the kids according to there is a city fee, which is $300, and then outside the city for $350. So it basically pays for their hotel and their travel, and we have our own fund which we sponsor. So the tour basically pays for itself.
Yeah, right, because that's nothing.
Yes.
I mean, that's dirt cheap.
Yes.
That's a good program.
But we want to keep it affordable for young people because we do understand that with college coming up things, and a lot of seniors have to pay for different, college pictures and things like that at school. So we try to keep it affordable as much as we possible.
So when do people need to start getting ready to sign up for that? Because you can still sign up now, right?
Yes, we do have seats available.
Okay.
Actually, we have about close to 30 students right now that are signed up. Like I said, we'll take about 40 to 42. So we do still have plenty of room available.
Okay, so we want to encourage them to call you
Yes.
ASAP.
Yes.
Because I'm sure that will close. I mean, we're in March, so
Yes.
yeah, that'll close very shortly. I'm glad you guys are doing that. Now, summer youth is going to ramp up too. Now, when are you starting to get ready for that? Or you already in the mix of that?
Yes, we're already in the mix of that. Application process has started. There are applications available at Parks and Recreation for you to pick up, but the actual first day where they can come to a site will be on March 31st.
So what are some of the jobs that you guys have available this year?
This year, Marilyn Monk, which is serving as the director, she's working very hard to get some, some non-traditional jobs that some of the kids, like in law offices, maybe and accountants and things like that. We have some youth that are interested in doing cosmetology. So we have some kids that go to barbershops, to hair salons. We have kids that may have been runners downtown and things of that nature, daycares, summer camps. So we have a wide variety. So we're working very hard to bring some, non-traditional jobs as well.
I like that idea, and I think that's a good idea and a nice change too.
Yes.
Yeah. Nicole, what are green jobs?
Okay, well, the green jobs, I would say was started about 4 years ago with the partnership through UD, in which the kids are exposed to environmental jobs, energy-saving jobs, anything that does with outdoor. And we take about 14 kids, which we did last year for the first time. We actually upped their numbers, so it's been a very successful program. The kids are exposed to, like for any energy-saving measures. They would go out. They've been to farms. They go muscle surveying. So the kids really enjoy it. And at the end, they actually do a whole presentation and a celebration on what they learned over their 6-week process. So it's a very nice program.
That's really cool. So for all the programs, if anybody wants the college tour, if they want to do the summer youth or the green jobs, what do they need to do? And they need to start doing this ASAP, right?
Yes, they need to do it as soon as possible. What they can do is either come to Parks and Recreation to pick up applications for summer youth and for the green jobs. Applications available, but the application does close for green jobs on March the 31st.
Okay.
Because that is an interview process. We actually interview those youth just to make sure that they're suited for the position and that they're interested in doing that. So that will close. But they can also come to Parks and Recreation for any other information as well.
Okay. And Sean R. Baker. I mean, really? Does he have to laugh like that? What's that? So what's going on?
We have a lot of different things going on in Parks and the Recreation Division right now and overall in Parks and Rec. We're doing our youth basketball program.
How's it going?
It's going well. We have over 50 teams in our youth basketball program. Started at the 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and 17 and under age groups. And we have teams from all over the city. We collaborate with different organizations to run the program. So it's going well. We have our winter rec sites that are going at Christina School District.
Still have winter rec sites? Isn't it like I don't know.
Yeah, we still have winter rec sites. Our winter rec
is
sites.
Winter over yet?
No, we'll have the winter rec sites up until the end of March, and then we'll go into our youth basketball championship week, and then we'll go into our youth all-star game. We also are doing some chess, collaborating with Delaware Chess Organization. With Drew Breeze, our superintendent Rashid Mustafa is collaborating with that program. Also, we have some youth tennis now. We have some youth soccer with Delaware United Soccer Club. So our indoor programs are moving forward. We're also starting to get ready for our summer programs. which is a pools, which is our aquatics program. We had an aquatics meeting yesterday in Dover, and that went fairly well. They're changing some of the specs and some of the regulations for all over the country. There's a 900-page document.
And that's somebody's phone ringing. They're calling in about these great programs you're talking about. We're here.
There's a 900-page document that we're reviewing to get our pools up to spec, and most of it doesn't start until 2016. So
lifeguard training going on?
Lifeguard training is coming up. We have our first certification at the end of March. We hope to get between 30 and 35 lifeguards this year. We'll pick 10 pool managers out of that group. And then again, we're collaborating with a lot of different organizations and doing some interdivisional stuff, working with youth and families with some programs, working with Hicks Anderson, they have some outstanding programs, and also working departmentally with Public Works, Human Resources, the Mayor's Office, and just moving forward. If there's anything that we're not doing, and I always say this, so there's something that we're not doing that the citizens of Wilmington or the greater metropolitan area needs to talk about or would like to discuss, please let us know.
I have something that you're not doing. You guys ready for my
We're
thing
not
that they're
doing
not
archery.
doing? No, I didn't say anything about archery.
We're not doing archery.
Paul and Paul, listen to this. Here's my new one, jousting.
We're not doing jousting.
Whoa. That's a good one, right?
Jousting. No. Who's going to train them?
Dentistry.
That's
a good one. Come on, can you guys top that one? Jousting. That was good. You know that was good.
Okay.
They're making a joke about me right now.
I'm sure. Ain't no
and
doubt
we'll
about
just
that.
leave it alone.
If they want more information, all of our programs, including youth and families, are on the website, and they can also go to call 302-576-3810.
Okay. Fencing.
No. No.
What was your other one?
Archery.
He said no. Well, you already said no to archery.
Absolutely.
So no jousting, no fencing.
No.
What else? Oh, lawn darts.
Lawn darts. Wow.
Yeah.
No. We just had and you said interesting. You say ping pong. On Monday we had our first annual table tennis tournament at Hicks Anderson. We had about 35 kids participate and about 15 adults. The adults bracket is coming down to the championship game, and as you know, we have certain people that always rise up to the championship level.
So you got a ping pong champion?
Well, we will as soon as I beat the guy that thinks he can beat me in the
Oh,
adult
it's him.
bracket.
So that's why. Oh, please.
As soon as we
So
get
you're
a
good at
chance.
ping pong?
I've won all my games so far.
Forrest Gump, right?
Please.
You
we have the next round on Monday, the 16th, over at Hicks Anderson at 4:00.
All right, we gotta go.
Okay.
Ping pong champ, Forrest Gump. At Robot Wars. For everybody here at WITN Channel 22, I'm Shannon Harris. We'll see you next time.